Okay, so the Birds officially released Derek Barnett, but what did Brandon Graham have to say about it? And how will it impact Nolan Smith's snap count? Plus, Howie Roseman is closing in on Shaq Leonard. And why was DeVonta Smith a surprising DNP at practice? That and all the reasons to be confident for the Bills game. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? For those that are new to the channel, I'm Josh and I cover the Birds. So let's start with the Chiefs still upset over how Nick Sirianni conducted himself after the game, while sure, maybe taunting a little, but leading to how about those Chiefs cold ruse to say this isn't normal behavior for a head coach in the NFL. Some grown adults never heal from their past trauma and continue to act like children as a result. Nick Sirianni is one of them. You know, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but personally, I prefer my head coach to wear his emotions on his sleeves, and our guy isn't about to change that.
I don't hear fans all that often. I did in this game, and I definitely heard them at halftime, and so I give them credit. They aren't Philly fans. They aren't as good as Philly fans, but I definitely heard a couple of things they were saying in the game, and so I'm not gonna, with everything that I am, I'm not gonna hide who I am. And so hey, like that was some. I was emotional after the game. That was a little playful back and forth.
Look, yeah, who doesn't love a little trash talk? And I'm with this dude who said it's hilarious that people are turning into therapists and psychiatrists all over Sirianni just being a regular Italian guy.
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Okay, some people just don't get it. And despite Chiefs linebacker Willie Gay calling Sirianni's antics corny, what was really corny was the Dallas Cowboys acting like they'd won the Super Bowl after beating the Commanders. And sure, did Dak Prescott steal the show while setting a PFF record for the highest grade of any player during a game this season? Yeah, okay. And DaRon Bland setting the NFL record for most pick sixes in a single season? Way to go. But newsflash, Dallas, it was a regular season game against the Commanders. One that got defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio fired, by the way. But who cares? Because the Cowboys have yet to beat a team with more than 4 wins this season, with wins over the Giants twice, the Jets, Patriots, Chargers, Rams, Panthers, and Commanders. So congratulations to you for having a really impressive point differential. Yet the most ridiculous part of all of it was after the 45-10 win, owner Jerry Jones said, quote, "I don't know that I've had a day like this, and I'll include them all. I'll put the Super Bowls in there. I don't know if I've ever had a better day with the Cowboys than today."
Come again?
What? I'm sorry. Could you imagine if Jeffrey Lurie came out and said this after a regular season victory? I mean, maybe it's just the fact that Jerry's come into reality that regardless of how good Prescott plays in the regular season, he's going to become Dak Regresscott in the postseason. Or heck, maybe he's got a thing for Dolly Parton, who performed "We Are the Champions" at halftime. I don't know what you're the champions of, but that actually happened in case anyone missed it. Or more realistically, it probably was just the Dallas recruiting plan for recently released Colts linebacker Shaq Leonard, since Adam Schefter reported that the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles are the 2 top landing spots for the former All-Pro, with Leonard expected to do his due diligence in filling out what situation might work best for his future. And although we know that answer, it's looking more and more likely that Philly may land the 28-year-old, like I shared previously with the ties to Sirianni, and then with the Birds officially releasing Derek Barnett, which obviously opens up a roster spot, I think it only makes sense that Howie's preparing something big. Plus, the ultimate giveaway may be that Eagles corner Darius Slay's wife Jennifer posted "Howie be working" on Twitter. Okay, I get it if you're a little skeptical, but add on top of that the fact that Shaq Leonard's wife Kayla is now following Jennifer on Twitter, and perhaps it is something.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Okay, nothing's actually happened at the time of this recording, but you'd have to imagine we're gonna hear something soon. Because as we know, Howie's always calculated and thinking 3 steps ahead. I mean, I don't think you just cut a guy to make an elevation, even though, yes, I saw some people saying it'll be for Justin Evans or Quez Watkins back to the roster from IR. However, with Philly releasing their final injury report ahead of the Bills game with Justin Evans out and Quez Watkins questionable and getting in a limited practice, it kind of kills that argument. Who knows, maybe I end up being dead wrong and this was a nothing move in the first place. Although at least I won't be as wrong as Greeny sources back in 2017 who said multiple people I trust think Derek Barnett will be better than Myles Garrett. Well, we know how that one turned out. Yet seriously though, I wish DB the best, and I don't think anyone's ever gonna forget the impact he had in his rookie season in both the NFC Championship game and Super Bowl to clinch the victory. But the issue, as we all continued to see, is that it's a "what have you done for me lately" type of league with next to no type of impact on the field that led to the release, where Barnett will end his Philly career with more accepted penalties, 26, than sacks, 21.5. I should point out that you gotta at least give him credit for limiting the stupid penalties this season and not getting that type of reaction from Sirianni. But I think we all saw this coming. Curious to know what you guys think about the release, and what do you think it means for potential moves going forward? Personally, while I agree with the move, I'm with BG, who said we're always tied in as a family. Whenever the Eagles invite the 2017 Super Bowl team to come back, I'm going to call him and say, bring your butt back. I know it didn't happen the way you wanted to, but you still got a ring. You still got some good things out of it, and hopefully he keeps balling wherever else he is. I wish DB the best. We're always going to talk because that's my guy. Okay, yeah, despite knocking him a ton, I really do wish him the best. But speaking of balling, BG will set the Eagles franchise record for most games played Sunday, passing kicker David Akers. The remarkable part is that BG's even in a place to vault himself to number 1 on the list. After suffering a career-threatening torn Achilles in 2021, yet much like his trash talking on the field, the former first-round pick never stopped rehabbing to get back on the gridiron, somehow getting better with age, as Graham had a career year last season, registering 11 sacks, all while coming off the bench. Now, okay, yeah, he's been less productive this season, but he's made some really good plays at crucial times, so it only feels right that BG's the guy to claim the record. But speaking of records, A.J. Brown set a record earlier this season while going on a tear, yet has slowed down a bit after teams have begun double-teaming and using bracket coverage on him, something the All-Pro receivers expected, but said they're making adjustments on how to attack those situations against Buffalo. So after a 1-catch, 8-yard performance versus Kansas City, I expect Swole Batman to play well. Remember, he had a couple opportunities against the Chiefs, although the 26-year-old did end up taking responsibility for Jalen's INT.
It was my fault. Honestly, it was my fault. And, I did beat my guy, but in that situation, I didn't see it was blitz zero, and that route I can't change. I got to keep my route home. And that's what happened.
Okay, just wanted to include that, because as much as we might talk about the sideline footage of disagreements, let's not forget these dudes are best friends. And credit to AJ for owning up to the mistake. However, getting back to the injury report, DeVonta popped up with a DNP due to a knee injury, but he's not listed as out or anything, so my assumption is that he'll be fine, but worth monitoring closer to kickoff. But come on, Smitty's never missed a game in his career and now really won't want to miss it after Buffalo made it personal, playing Rocky music and shadow boxing at their final practice. I mean, when are teams going to realize that you don't mess with Rocky?
I think we ought to knock his block off.
Okay, honestly, I'm not too concerned about the Bills. It's really just if we have a letdown after the big victory over KC. Because I think everyone knows Josh Allen gifting you the football is just about a guarantee, with Dave Zangaro reminding that through 11 games, Allen is tied for the league lead in interceptions with 12 and has fumbled 4 times. And it isn't a one-year thing. Since he entered the NFL in 2018, Allen leads the league in interceptions with 72 and leads the league in fumbles with 56. So there's obviously some opportunity to force Allen into mistakes in this game. I mean, was that really even a question? And while Stephon Diggs certainly can't be overlooked, it's actually Allen's willingness to stare down his wide receiver 1 that I think could pay dividends for Philly, especially with Slay and Roby most likely to be the ones matched up most of the game. But I also think the running game could be huge on Sunday, much like it was against Kansas City, since the Bills ranked 29th in yards per attempt allowed. Plus, the Birds may have found something in the Chiefs game in that area. Like Brooks Cabina shared, when the Eagles go with a 2 running back package, which is 21 personnel, they average 9.7 yards per play, nearly double their average on all given plays, which Brooks did a really good job breaking down the analytics of it, so I've got a link in the description if you want to check out the full article. But basically, it puts the defense off balance since DeAndre Swift is a weapon in both the passing and running games, which is why, probably not surprisingly, I think Agent Zero will definitely play a factor. Although honestly, I still think it comes down to the Birds' pass catchers, with Bills' top cornerback in Tre'Davious White already out for the season, and their other starter, Teron Johnson, and best backup Dane Jackson, both suffered concussions in Week 11. Plus, safety Taylor Rapp may miss the game after suffering a neck injury. Not exactly the best recipe for success to slow down AJ and Smitty. I don't know, maybe former Eagle Rasul Douglas can do something since he was picked up by Buffalo at the trade deadline. Yet I'm not near as confident in that as I am in my Week 12 pick, since we've been hitting on nearly everything recently. But this week, I'm going to take Carolina on the road versus Tennessee, getting 3.5. And I'll also ride with the Rams away in Arizona at -2.5. Finally, I'm going to lay the 3 with the Birds over the Bills. And by the way, if you haven't tried out BetMGM yet, you're guaranteed to win your first bet up to $1,500 when you sign up via my link in the description. Even if your entry doesn't hit, BetMGM will pay you back up to $1,500 in bonus bets. All right, let me know what you guys think about the picks, and curious what y'all's biggest matchups are for the Philly game. This time, I mean it, off for some vacation with the family, so won't be back until next week to get ready for the Niners game. As always, go Birds. This has been the Philly Special.